Hello and welcome to Insights on Internships from Professor Jones, the podcast where we explore how internships and hands-on experience shape meaningful careers in the hospitality industry. I'm Professor David Jones, longtime educator, researcher, and hospitality professional. In this chapter of the podcast, Alumni Voices, I'm reconnecting with former students who've taken what they've learned in the classroom and during internships and built it into careers they're proud of. In each episode, we'll hear real stories, practical advice, and thoughtful reflections from professionals across the hospitality world, all starting with one common experience, their internship and/or work study. Whether you're a student, an educator, or an industry professional passionate about hospitality career development, you're in the right place. Welcome to another episode of Insights on Internship podcast. I'm excited today to have Katie Marek, who most recently was the Director of Operations, Development, and Business Analysis at Loews Hotels at Orlando Universal, as my guest. Great to have you here today, Katie.
Thank you for having me here.
This is going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. You were my student back at San Francisco State, but please give us a little introduction to our audience about your background, the university, your major, that kind of thing, and what you're doing today, because I know you're in the process of making a transition here. So I'd like to hear a little more.
Yeah, so my background, as you mentioned, I was at San Francisco State University. I got my bachelor's in hospitality. I also have an MBA from Arizona State University and a master's in sustainability a master's in sustainable tourism from Arizona State University as well. As you mentioned, I recently just left my job, so I'm kind of in this exploratory state. I love my job, but my husband sold the company, so we had to move from Florida to California. But up until recently, as you mentioned, I was the Director of Operations Development and Business Analysis for Loews Hotels at Universal Orlando. To go a little bit more in depth about that, Loews Hotels and Universal have a joint venture, and so they own and operate and develop all of those hotels on the Universal property together. And so my role was really to support those new builds, as well as the operating hotels in operation strategy, development and design, project management, and financial analysis.
Oh, very good. Well, you've been a great success. I remember when you found this opportunity at a career fair at the National Society of Minorities in Hospitality.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really success. Worked out well. It's one of those, you pick a company for its culture and you pick a company for all the right reasons. And I feel like you'll be there for a while.
Yeah. Well, they've been lucky to have you. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Well, tell us a little bit about the internships you did while you were studying at San Francisco State.
Definitely. So the first one was I did the MGM internship program, which was a summer program. Yeah, they brought in students, I believe at that time it was just all over the country. And we all stayed at the UNLV dorms. And then we all were assigned to different we had groups, because there's so many, but we were given different hotels and then different aspects of the operations. So there's everything from sales and marketing, housekeeping, front office, rooms. So I did focus on front office, and then they did like rotation. So you got to experience some housekeeping. We did a day at the spa. We did a group project, and then they did some specialty speakers in there as well. I highly recommend that. I know several companies do something similar, but I highly recommend if you have the availability to do one of those internships, because you are fully immersed kind of in the industry and you get a real good understanding of life outside of graduation. Plus you meet amazing people that you connect with and you get to help and rely on them the rest of your career as you kind of go through it together. And then my second one was in sales and marketing at the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that was more of a traditional internship where I went in 2 to 3 days a week for a half day or full day. But again, a great experience. And I definitely learned a lot from that one as well.
Well, as an aside, you reminded me of something that I have used in my teaching in classes of the experience you had at MGM when they were doing an investigative journalism thing about people giving keys away at the front desk to whoever just came and asked for a room. And I
Yeah.
remember that you were on camera as one who did not give them the key. Although I
Yeah.
do remember they got the key, but they got it from somebody else, not from you. And I've used that for a long time as a great example of how you do it.
It's still on YouTube.
It's still on YouTube. Oh my God. Oh my God. You
You
were a
can pull
star
it
a long
up.
time ago. You were a star a long
Oh
time.
my gosh, that's my that was one of those things that's like why and how. It's like I just remember one day I was at my internship at the Ritz-Carlton, and one of the other sales managers goes, "Oh, I saw you on Dateline last night." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"You
It's
gave
not
a
what you
key
like to
away."
hear.
And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" So I was stressed and panicked the entire day. I get back to my house, I get online, and I'm Googling what's going on, and I watch it, and thank God I did the right thing. But I was, how it ended up me being out of everybody, it was definitely a unique experience.
Yeah. Well, it was an interesting expose that they did, and I'm just happy that you were the star of
Yeah.
the right way to do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
but it definitely exposes, front desk agents, like you have a really big job.
yeah. Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Hmm.
So it had a great influence on you. Then you decided you wanted to follow the career into the hotel industry as a result of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, what do you think was the most valuable takeaway that you got from that internship experience?
Well, so I would say at MGM, it really solidified that I wanted to start my career in rooms.
Mm,
But really, and both of them, just the basis of a good understanding of hotel systems. I will say I've never seen a front desk training program as thorough as MGM Grand's. It was an amazing experience. It really gave me a great baseline. Um, it's just, sorry, it was really gave me like the confidence and the ability to kind of move up. And I think kind of these beginning experiences to experience from multiple companies really gives you a good foundation to when you go to a different company and there's multiple ways to do things, or you can think about things differently and operations differently, because a lot of times, oh, this is the way we've always done it. And you can kind of say, well, why don't we try it this way and kind of just see what happens.
yeah. Well, and I imagine that helped when you got to the level that you did in the organization at Loews to look back and remember how it was when you were doing it at the very beginning.
Oh yeah, I still think the directors of rooms are sick of me calling and be like, you should really try this. Like, I see you're having this issue. Why didn't you try this?
Well, I would imagine you've had opportunities along the way to coach interns in the Lowe's organization during your career. So, what are the areas that you concentrated on to make sure that they got the most from their experience?
So I would say really don't judge a task before you do it, right? You're going to get tasks that seem monotonous or like, really, why am I doing this? And I would really highly encourage everybody just to see what you're getting out of that. And I'll give you one specific example. So I don't know if this was an internship or early in my career because I don't remember exactly, but I was given the task and it was days of just running reports, right? Our reporting system wasn't as good. So if you wanted something like by month for a couple of years, you're running those reports every 31 days, 30 days, right? By month, right? Type in date, run, save. Type in date, run, save. So I literally spent days doing this. And I was like, what? Like, I was so over it. But at the end of it, it helped me so much through my career because I learned what reports existed, what information was in those reports, what information it stored, and then what report to go back to find that information. And I think I used that till my last day of my career. When people are like, hey, I really need this. Do you know where I can find it? I go, I'm like, oh, that's rooms 2. Or as we got more in depth and we developed our kind of BI systems and our data systems more, I could say, hey, I really want this information. This is where it's stored. Can you guys get that for me? And a lot of the companies were able to go back and add that information.
Interesting. Well, I started my hotel career at the Chicago Marriott downtown, and it was an automated system, which was new in those days. And
Mm-hmm.
there was no rack. And so when people talked about going back to manual when things didn't work, that they knew how to do a rack. I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't at the front desk. I was in sales and marketing, thank goodness. But I still to this day don't know anything about how a rack works. And so I think that's a great example. So what has changed in the industry since your internship that you feel should be a part of an internship today?
I would say just the data available and the data used. I think it's used literally in everyday decisions. I know data is used to even determine where a menu item is placed on the menu. I could tell you a couple years ago, I could tell you on average how long it took a housekeeper to change sheets at a stayover or change sheets at a checkout, on average how long it took them to remake a bed at a stayover. Like the data in the industry now is everywhere, it's available, and it's being used. So I would highly love interns to get involved and see what the data is, especially since they're so much more tech savvy. They can really kind of help and give us ideas of how to use the different data differently, but it's available. I'd love to have interns get them involved and see how we're using it and even get ideas from them on how to use it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and there in the title that you had, business analysis, that wouldn't have been a title you would have had when you first started.
Yeah, right. I think very few in the industry had that.
Yeah. Well, I was very fortunate at Singapore Institute of Technology when we launched that program that the university was willing to fund, and we had a source to get us a business intelligence aspect that we could use in the lab for the students to understand. And it was great. It was a great tool. It really was a great tool.
Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. It's almost, and I want to say, in almost every decision, there's a plethora of data to back it up.
Yeah. So knowing what you know now, what would you do differently in choosing an internship experience?
So I don't think I would choose either intern. I don't think I would do anything differently in my internship experience. Because one, I think I liked that I picked rooms, which I thought was going to be my path. But I also like that I picked a different aspect of hotels. So I got a wide variety of opportunities and understanding. And I also like that I picked two very distinct and unique hotels from each other, right? The MGM Grand, which is 5,000 rooms, the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco, which is like 340, if my memory serves me correctly. But two very different operating styles, very different strategies. The one thing I would do differently, and I don't know if I didn't realize it at the time, but if you're not staying with that company for whatever reason, there's not a position for you or there's a different opportunity, utilize those connections. Like even as I mentor interns or whoever it is today, I am more than happy to pick up the phone and vouch for somebody, give them a good recommendation. And I wish I would have known that and used that more and asked for that support.
Yeah. Did they give you opportunities to look more at what you call today a business analysis aspect when you were doing these? Was it a part of what you were learning?
And in the internships?
Yeah. Did they think that far ahead?
So, I mean, no. MGM was very much a front desk role, and it was, for an internship, MGM at the front desk it's plenty.
Yeah.
We did have the opportunity.
Yeah, it's a big hotel with a lot of people checking in and out.
Yeah, and all of the unique situations. I mean, as you mentioned, I was on Dateline there. Like there is just, you learned so much so quickly. That was a full plate there. We did have an opportunity to do a group project, and we came up with an idea, and I don't remember, like there were some ideas like money making, a revenue generating idea. So there was some ideas to put a bar on the roof, and ours was to partner with, and I don't even remember what movie was coming out, but it was something from the MGM studios, which they don't have any relationship for, and we got beat up for. But the way the current stage was at the MGM with their show, I think it dumped sand or it dumped water, something really specific to this movie. And we were like, oh, we should partner with that. And we got the ability to kind of present to us to why we thought that was going to make money. And then the executives got to judge us and give us feedback, which was kind of cool, but not a whole lot of data analysis that I would refer to as today.
Okay, very good. Well, when I created the IOI podcast initially, it was really me taking some of my past knowledge, and I categorized it into three different areas. Those that related to before you did the internship, what you did to prepare for it, then those during the internship you did, and then those after and how you used it. So if you were to choose one of those categories to give advice on, what would it be? And tell us a little more about it.
I would say before your internship, do your homework. Don't just take an internship because it's an internship. Make sure it is an internship you're going to gain from. Have a conversation with who's going to be helping you through the process, because I know there's people that have done internships where their whole role is just shadowing and kind of watching, and you do pick up some stuff like that, but you're not going to get as much knowledge and gain as much experience shadowing as you are if you get an internship where you're actually going to be able to get on and get the hands-on experience. For me, I would highly recommend you do at least one internship where there's multiple interns with you, because those relationships and those networkings you're going to use them throughout your career, and having that ability to make them early is fabulous. But yeah, I would make sure you really do your research and you pick the internship that really aligns with the culture and experience you want.
Which is what you did very well. And mixing and matching the two different experiences. I mean, that's really a great example of exactly how it should be done if you get more than one opportunity, whether it's an internship and a work experience, or whether it's two internships or whatever it may be, to mix and match things so that you know the different perspectives, different companies, different kinds of hotels, and so on, right?
Yes, I would highly recommend to do that. Even if you're with the company you love, try an internship on a couple days a week with a different company. There's so many great companies out there that there's so many opportunities.
Yeah, great. Well, Katie, I cannot thank you enough for being a guest on this podcast. It's been so great to catch up with you and see the success that you've had and how it built from those internships. You're the example, and I hope all of you out there listening as students looking at that, you take some of this advice in hand. So thank you.
Thank you. And I just thank you for putting this podcast together. It's such a great resource for students to get a variety of perspectives.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Insights on Internships. If you heard something that resonated, inspired, or made you reflect, please consider sharing it with a fellow student, academic advisor, or even your supervisor at your place of work. These stories are meant to travel. And who knows, they might just spark a new conversation or opportunity. And if you're a former student with a story to tell, or someone working with interns today, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep showing up with a passion for hospitality.